My name is Align Mask, and here I have a very special guest. I have the co-founder of the Wild Syndicate, the Queen herself, Mandie.
Hello.
So, Mandie, I, I was actually going through your profile right now just so I can get some questions ready for you. And yes, I do see on your profile it says that you are the co-founder. How did you and why come up with the Wild Syndicate?
Oh, that's a funny question. Um, so last year, we're actually Wild Syndicate will be a year old on the 27th. So in 10 days, it'll be a year old. Um, we were sitting around one day at home, and he was just like, "I'm gonna start a TikTok family," and I kind of looked at him like, "What?" Because we were in one already, and um, they were pretty cool. Like we met a lot of good people through there and whatnot. It was fun being part of a family. They're a little bit smaller, and he was like, "I think I want to start our own," and I was just like, "That's a lot. That sounds like a lot of work." And he was like, "Yeah, but it just would be fun, wouldn't it?" And then I was like, "I mean, all right, I'm down." And then we just kind of like the first thing we did was let's come up with the name, and we rocked our brain for like an hour or so. And he was like, "I know I want it to be wild something." And I was like, "Okay," because both our names are wild. And we went through like every possible, or like going through all the different ways you can say like group, or and we found syndicate, and we were like, "Oh, wild syndicate, that sounds really awesome." And then we went forward on what we wanted to stand for and who we wanted to invite. And we were small, like, I mean, we're still pretty small, but I think I was at like 3K at that point, and he was at like 2. And we wanted, I know like we were friends with some bigger creators, but we wanted to mostly bring in like smaller creators that were, you know, around the same uh, as us numbers wise. And then I was like, well, I kind of like this person because they're always commenting on my stuff. I kind of like that person because they're always liking my stuff. So then we decided to start out with people who supported us. So we brought in people that supported us, and whether they had like 200 followers or 2,000 followers, we brought in anybody that commented constantly on our stuff or share, like messaged us or duetted us, anybody like that. We brought in those people, and then we brought in um, eventually once we got like an admin team going, we started coming up with like who else to invite, and we started like looking at people with mostly cosplayers because most of us are cosplayers. But then we were like, ooh, let's get ooh, that person does transitions. That they're really good. Let's see if we can, get them in. And then eventually, Wild and I kind of just like decided like, so our mission is we're gonna build other creators up. We want to help build people up. We want to help them grow in numbers and grow in confidence. And that's kind of where that all started, and it just kind of took off from there.
Right. Well, that's really interesting. That's really good because I did talk to Wild to see, his point of view of how the syndicate was found, and he basically said the same thing. But it's like, there's always two sides of every story. So I wanted to see your point of view of how all this got started, and
Hmm.
that's actually really interesting. How, and your side of the story, this is how it all began.
Yep.
So I'm actually going through your guys' merch store. What made you guys decide to sell merch?
For a while to get um, a lot of the family kept asking early on, like, "Do we have merch? Do we have merch?" And we were like, "No, we're not. We didn't know we could do merch." And then um, one of our old admin members was like, "Yeah, we should definitely do it." And we tried doing it like a different way, but it was like way more complicated and way more expensive. So then we did, Teespring like everybody else does on TikTok. And so, I mean, not very many people, we haven't even gotten our merch because, like, we just kind of wanted to throw some merch up there. And we're still trying to, like, come up with, like, a really good, like, because you see, like, Purge Fam and the Potato Gang, and all their stuff is just, like, it's simple, but it works. So we wanted to do something similar. It was simple but works. And
Right.
the family was just like Lissy was like, hurry up and make merchandise so I can show it off. So it's actually the members that were like, hurry up, we want to show off our family. So we decided to put merch up there. Still working on more products though.
Well, like I said, because I'm actually going through your guys' merch store, and there's actually a lot of really interesting things. So it's like, not everyone's gonna get every little thing. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like when you're coming up with new stuff every single day or every single week or however it is, it's gonna be a little hard to catch up when you're still trying to get this other stuff first.
Yeah.
And I'm actually looking at your personal stuff too, because I'm seeing a lot of Rosie refuses.
Oh
Is this
yeah, that
like,
was my stuff is so bad. Like I did, so many creators have like Gothic Thug, and like Delta Force, and then they have like their faces, like their actual like their OCs on their merch, and I'm like, your OC is super cool, but I do not want any of my OCs on someone's body, like because it's my face. Like before I came up with Midori at the skull OC that I have now, like it was just me with like minimal makeup and vampire teeth and contacts. And I was like, I don't really want my face. That's weird. So I turned one of my characters into a chibi character, and I thought it was cute at the time. Now I'm like, God, that's so cringe. It's so bad.
well, well, I think a lot of people go through that. Like, to be honest, before I did this whole podcasting, well, before I even did TikTok, I actually wanted to make YouTube videos, but every time I will make a video, and then like I'll rewatch it just to see how good it is or if there's anything, and then when I hear my own voice, I'm like, nope, delete. Like, God, I hate my own voice. This sounds so fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
But
feel that.
thanks to TikTok, I actually gained the confidence of throwing my voice out there. And I still do hate my own voice, but it's like it's not as bad as I used to hate it back then.
No, I feel that every time I make like a creator video, if I'm doing like something where I'm talking on TikTok, I'm like, I hate my voice, but I don't care. I don't care as much as I used to anymore.
That's always a good thing about TikTok because a lot of people has become celebrities or they have come out now because of TikTok because it actually builds the confidence. It kind of sucks that there's a thing called like shadow banning or getting
Yeah.
famous over the stupidest thing
Mm-hmm.
when it's like the cosplayers who are making this app so amazing.
Yeah. We're the ones getting banned. I mean, even some of the I've known a few of our old Wild Syndicate members who only did transitions have also gotten like shadow banned and Thanos, if you will, too. And I'm like, they don't do anything. Like some of them don't even do sounds other than transitioning out of clothes, transitioning with a mask, no mask, and they get shadow banned and taken down. And I'm like, I don't understand. I can understand like the cosplayers, we kind of dance on the community guidelines with the fake blood and the weapons and all that, but like transitioners, I don't understand how some of them get banned. It's stupid.
Well, there's like always a lot of things. Like I've seen a lot of people they'll be breaking the rules, but freaking TikTok will turn a blind eye.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people like me. I literally made a video of just having my back turned, and then at some point I slowly turn around, and it took it down because it was dangerous act. I was like, what's so dangerous about turning around?
That's stupid. No, I've got there's one duet or blind react that Wild made me do one Sunday morning. I was so annoyed. I was like, this is the first thing you want me to do in the morning? And he was like, yes. So I was like, fine. And then I posted it, and it was like a guy, like, talking about, I think it was like insinuating about like gay sex, and it was like a funny sound. Like this dude was hilarious. But I got taken down for reacting to it. But the original video was still up, and it said that I was violating community guidelines for sexual something. I was like, I was just sitting there reacting to the video. but the original video is up, I'm confused. So it's just I don't appreciate their uh like their hit or miss. Like sometimes you have a video that has fake blood and you don't put fake blood on it, no warning, saying it's just a prop, and it's fine. The next minute you don't have any of that in, and you get, it gets taken down. So I don't know where their line is.
Right.
Like it's
Um,
never the same.
right. I don't know if you actually seen the new update that they did, which is when you're scrolling through TikTok, all of a sudden you get a warning that says, "Hey, this might upset you. Do you want to watch it or do you want to skip it?" Have you seen that?
I've seen something similar to it. Yes, I think
So
I have seen it. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking that's actually a good thing because at least, hey, at least our videos won't be taken down. People at least will get some sort of a warning, like, hey, this is something that probably will piss you off. You want to
Hmm.
skip it or do you want to watch it? Because even if you watch it, we're not gonna fucking take it down.
Right. Yeah, I think that would be good. That it's like, are they going to be consistent about it? That's my issue. Is you want to have community guidelines, fine, but if you're going to hold me accountable for something I did, you better hold that person accountable over there doing that dance trend half naked. Like, if
Right.
you're going to get upset because a cosplayer who happens to have, big boobs is showing a smidge of cleavage in like a pirate costume, that is how the pirate costumes come, back in the
Right.
day. Like, if you're gonna hold her accountable for showing a little bit of cleavage, then better get that 19-year-old girl that like barely has any clothes on twerking on TikTok, like, hold her accountable too. So
Right.
it's just, I don't appreciate the pick and choose where we're gonna, hold people accountable. It's annoying as fuck.
Right. Um, so I actually been developing sort of a plan, because I noticed a lot of TikTokers they have OnlyFans,
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I'm actually trying to get into it, but after 3 attempts, they keep denying me because it's saying I'm not doing this right, I'm not doing that right. So I'm gonna try it one more time, just to see if I. Because here's my plan. I do try to limit myself because I don't want my videos to be taken down, and I know there's like so many minors who sometimes disguise themselves as adults.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't want these kids watching what I'm about to do. So I develop a plan to like, hey, you know what? I have so many ideas, yet I can't post them because of this.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an OnlyFans, actually do the videos that I want to do, and if people want to subscribe, they'll be able to see what I can actually do instead of like hiding what I'm trying to do.
Right. Yeah.
But
I don't mess with the OnlyFans.
Mhm.
I
Well, I
thought
looked at
I did. I started an account, but I was like, yeah, we're not there yet.
well, I looked into it, so it's like I understand like it's all about nudity and selling yourself, but it's like it's not really true. You don't really have to do nudity.
Right.
Freaking actually, I watched this YouTuber. His name is Repsion. He actually does OnlyFans, and he describes how to do it and what do people ask for. And I'm not saying he's ugly, but he's not really good looking.
Mm-hmm.
But he makes a lot of money off of it. Like he even said, like somebody offered me $60 just to wiggle my fingers. That's it. People just offer me $60 just to wiggle my fingers.
Yeah. That's kind of funny. I guess everybody has their like kinks or fetishes.
That's what I'm thinking. Like it's like, huh? People are willing to pay him $60 for that.
For
I
wiggling your fingers.
wonder whatever stupid things that people will pay.
Yeah. See, I have not heard those stories. I've heard some like way worse. Not worse, but just like some of the stuff. I'm friends with people who do it. Um, and
You still there? Oh, that I think we lost connection
No,
with you or something.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was weird. My iPhone like went blank and then everything went away. I was like, really? Um,
So
no, I have friends who do OnlyFans and tell me like sometimes it's like, oh, it's $15 for this, and $35 for that, and oh no, one of my friends was like, it's $25 to have my boyfriend, fuck me for a video, and I was like, that's not enough money for me to do all of that. Like, I'm not saying that I'm like hot shit, but that is not enough money for me to go that far.
right.
So $60 to wiggle your fingers, that's pretty dope.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, only you don't really have to like post sexual things or nudes or anything like that. I mean, there's a lot of people who actually don't even post nudes at all. They'll just post like them in their underwear or them just doing cosplay, and people will tip them or they'll just pay a membership to just see all that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I see, that's something I would probably, I don't know, I'm kind of like, I'm not saying I'm a prude or anything. I'm just like, I don't have time to like try and figure out how I'm going to take pictures or do videos in that, to that extent. But I mean, hey, like I have one of my friends, one of our members in our syndicate is like the top 6% of OnlyFans, and they make their living off of it. So I'm totally proud and jealous of anyone who can do it.
Well, it does take time, it takes patience, confidence, and it's like, hey, you know what? If you don't want to do it, just don't do it. But if you feel like you can, this is something you could do. This is something you could do. And like I said, this guy Repsion, he does describe like very detailed of OnlyFans. He's like, hey, but I just want to give you guys a warning that if you guys do this, this could affect you mentally. It could affect you positively or it could affect you negatively. It really depends what you are doing.
Yeah, I see that. I can see
So,
that. That's probably like I'm glad that he says that, because I don't think a lot of people. I think because it's like this big, huge thing on TikTok, I can see someone completely rushing into it just because it's a thing, and with COVID and everything, and everybody just, a good amount of people, not everybody, but a good amount of people trying to make money where they can, like rush into something like that and not think about it and get, not really prepare themselves mentally. So I think that's really cool that he says that.
it really is. It really is because like I said, there's just like so many things with OnlyFans, and he doesn't really do nudes. I mean, I've never really subscribed to him, so I don't really know what he does in that thing. But he even says like, I don't do nudes, but somebody offered me $2,000 to just show my boys down there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck! Somebody offered him $2,000 just for that.
That's crazy. It's just funny though, because I tell Wild all the time. I was like, see, as a woman, like who I am, like I don't care for that. Like I would probably pay for just like pictures that are like, have like their shirts unbuttoned, or I'm the kind of person that's like, leave room for imagination. But I guess there are people out there that really want to see everything.
But hey, it's like if it pays, it pays.
Right,
Just do.
$2,000. Yeah, I hope he did it. I hope he did it for $2,000.
No, he ended up admitting that he did it because he said one of the things you have to also consider that if you do this, it could be leaked out there. So like if I do show him this, he could distribute it to the internet. So it's like
Right,
now the whole
they pay for that, so it's theirs, right? Like,
yeah.
so if they pay that $2,000 and they own that picture, is that correct?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. I mean, if it's just like a picture of your goodies and not your face, and no like revealing tattoos, I could see, like, not the end of the world. It could be literally be anybody. But yeah, no, I know people put their faces in pictures. That's definitely scary. That's scary.
We'll see. As somebody who's covered in tattoos, such as myself, that's almost gonna be impossible.
Right? Yeah. I'm not covered completely. No, I'm not even close to being covered. But I wouldn't be able to have like my hands. I have like tattoos on my wrists. I wouldn't be able to
Hmm.
do that.
Is that like the only tattoo you have, or do
No,
you
I
have
have
more?
like 7 little impetuous tattoos. Like when I was, I think I was 17 when I got my first tattoo. Um, I did it just because I wanted to do it, and then like the next few tattoos in my teens were like matching tattoos with my best friend, or uh, my friend worked at a tattoo shop and was like, "Here, have a tattoo for your birthday," and like I got whatever the first thing I could think of. Like all of my tattoos are like impet out. It's so sad, so sad.
Oh, that's kind of funny because I want to say like 10 years ago, I was friends with these two native people, and they actually wanted to get like like a friend's tattoo with all three of us,
Hmm.
and since they were native, they wanted to get a tattoo of a feather, and I kind of joked around with them. I was like, "Yeah, we can get a tattoo of a feather, and we'll call ourselves the Feather Friends."
Oh my god, did you end up getting the tattoo?
No, we didn't end up getting the tattoo because
Oh.
all the shops that we were going to,
Hmm.
freaking just for a simple feather, they were like saying like, "Oh, this is gonna cost like $200. This is gonna cost $300." I was like, "Just for a feather?"
A feather. I know my daughter's tattoo. So one of the reasons, the only reason I even started making TikToks is because I had a bet with my daughter who could get to 100 first, and I lost, and I had to pay for her first tattoo, and it was literally like a kiss mark on her shoulder, like a girl's lips kissing her shoulder, and it
Was
was
it?
$100. I was like, that is not even that big, but okay,
Like,
okay, $100 for a tiny little thing. Okay, that's fine. But she wanted it, and it was a bet, and I lost, so I had to pay up.
right. Um, so you said you have seven little tattoos.
Yeah.
Like, like if you don't mind me asking, like, what are they, and do they have a meaning to you?
So my first tattoo is like a fairy on a crescent moon. When I was a teenager, I was obsessed with fairies, like obsessed. And I wanted, a fairy tattoo, and I got it. And I still like, I have no regrets because it was something I was in love with, and I like it. It's really cute. It's like a little fairy, all gothic looking on a crescent moon, sitting on a crescent moon. And then my second tattoo, I believe, was the dragon. Oh my god, I have a tramp stamp for real. Like it was a big thing back in the day. Okay, and it's a Chinese dragon. Also, Chinese dragons back then were like super in. So my best friend and I, my best friend growing up, we got matching tattoos there, matching dragon tattoos there. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Like it was something that was in, and she's my best friend. So we got that. My third one was one I got for my birthday. My 18th birthday, I believe. And we had made friends with the guys who did our dragon tattoos, and we made really good friends with them at this.
I think we lost
All right,
connection.
I'll give you a free tattoo. And I was like, okay. So I have Tinkerbell on my ankle because she's the fairy of all fairies, and so I have Tinkerbell on my tattoo on my ankle. And then I'm trying to think of what I got next. Oh, I have like my zodiac sign on my right wrist, and then my best friend's zodiac sign on my left, and she has it opposite. So we have like three matching tattoos together. Then I went to visit. So I'm from Guam, and like my friend from high school, I went to visit her in Virginia one year, and one of her friends that she made was like just getting into tattooing, and he was like, I will give you a tattoo of your choice. All you have to do is pay for the materials. It was like $15, and we got like the Guam seal on our backs, which were matching. and um, totally regretting that now because he only started tattooing like a month before. It's not bad. It's just like really fading, so I have to get it touched up. And then I have a stupid one that matches my ex-husband. Biggest regret. And then I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And then and like barbed wire around my right wrist that like goes around my zodiac sign. I don't know. I was channeling like inner Pamela Anderson at the time, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you
They're all
have
like
any?
stupid, didn't put any thought into them, and I cannot wait to like get more that I can actually think out and plan for once.
Right. Do you have any other future plans of getting a tattoo?
I do. I want to get like I said, I'm from Guam, so like I want to get more like cultural stuff on my like the one that I have with my ex-husband. I have all of the intentions of like covering up with like hibiscus flowers and like plumerias, like all the island flowers and stuff. Like I definitely want to do that. So far that's all I have. Like I don't have. I'm not as creative as like a lot of people. Like even Wild's got some pretty cool tattoos that like were thought out, and I'm just like, it must be nice to just be able to think about something you really, really want on your body and like put it on there versus me who was like, yeah, I'll get that. That's fine. I'll get that tattoo. That's cool. Let's do it. You know? I also definitely want the supernatural or demon possession tattoo. Definitely want that one.
Right.
But that's like as far as my thought process goes for tattoos.
Right. Here's like the thing though. It's like when you're a tattoo person, such as you and me and a Wild, it's like the more tattoos we get in our body, it kind of gets harder and harder when it comes to start making tattoo decisions. Because it's like, for me, I actually want to get my entire body covered in tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
But the less space I'm having, it's like, fuck, what do I want to fill this spot with? Like, I like this, I like that,
right?
But I only have enough space for one of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, my next tattoo, I kind of want to get I don't know, are you into creepypasta?
I know of it, but I don't know, like, the details of it.
Like, do you know who Jeff the Killer is and Eyeless Jack?
I think I do, yeah. My kids were, like, super into creepypasta back in the day.
Right, because, like, well, what Jack the Killer is, he's, like, basically he did the same thing what Joker did, was, like, he carved a smile on his face, so it looks like he's always smiling.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eyeless Jack, the reason why he's called Eyeless Jack is because, like, he wears this mask that makes him that looks like he doesn't have any eyes, but there's, like, black tears coming down where his eyes are at.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are into creepypasta, and that actually, see, like, and a lot of people who are into, like, I'm, like, obsessed with supernatural, so, like, but that's, like, the only thing that I know of that I can actually put on my body. I know there are fans of other shows or other, cults that have tattoos on their bodies. I'm, like, so jealous of their creativity to, like, just the way that they put it on their bodies. It's not like I've seen people with supernatural tattoos, but, like, make it their own, and it's just, like, I wish I had the capacity to create something like that in my head and then be like, here, put this on my body. I just go through a tattoo book at the tattoo shop, and I'm like, that one, that's what I want. Stupid.
Right, but like I was saying earlier, I want to get those two, and since like I said, Jeff, he has that smile permanently on his face, and then you got Jack, who looks like he's crying. I want to put those together, and I want to put the smile now, cry later.
Ooh. I like that. That's actually really cool. Again, I wish I had that creativity.
You just have to because the one thing that people are gonna ask you is, well, such as myself, like I just asked you, like, does your tattoos have meaning? And I like to think majority of the time that's not really necessary. Like, if there's something that you like, just go ahead and put it on, because there's actually so many tattoos on my body that doesn't really have a meaning, such as like my Death Note tattoo. I have a Death Note tattoo on my arm, and people are like, "Oh, what's the meaning of that?" I'd be like, "Oh, nothing. I just really like the show."
Right. Yeah, and I have friends who like, when tattoo shops have like Halloween specials. I have friends who go every year just to get the Halloween special, and those Halloween specials are only like a certain amount of tattoos that are available in that moment. And I have friends who just like go and pick what the tattoo shop is doing for $20, but they want a new tattoo and they're gonna get it on the Halloween special. And I'm just like, that's pretty cool though. Like to just be like, yep, I'm doing it every year. Doing it. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pick whatever they have, and and it actually looked like my one friend from uh back in New Jersey. She has a bunch of them, and they actually the way that she puts them on her body is actually pretty cool. And she's just like, these are just $20 specials, and I love them. I'm like, they look great, you know. So it depends on how you like. You're right. Like there doesn't need to be a meaning. If you like that show, that's like the Supernatural tattoo. Like I love the show. Like I've never loved the show more than I love this one, so I'm putting it on my body.
Right.
And I do actually like now that I think about it, when you were talking about the smile, was it smile now, cry later? Is that what you said it was?
Yeah.
Well, now that you said that, there is one thing that I definitely really, really want to get that I've wanted for a few years. And it's like lyrics to a Day to Remember song. And it just like when I heard those lyrics, it hit so hard in that point in my life. And since then, I'm like, I'm eventually gonna get those lyrics on my tattoo or as a tattoo. So, and that actually would have a lot of meaning.
Right. We'll actually get back into tattoo talking because honestly, once you get me started talking about tattoos, that's when I'm like, oh, I'm going off. But after hearing that, so my next TikTok videos I'm planning to do is called "Songs That Sounds Happy but They're Actually Depressing."
Oh my gosh, that sounds awesome.
Because when I found out there's actually a hell of a lot of songs that sound so freaking happy, but if you actually listen to the lyrics, they're like, wow, this is actually really depressing.
Yeah.
Such as this is like a very popular song. I'm pretty sure every single person on earth has heard of this. Pumped Up Kicks.
Yep, that's the one that's like what I was thinking about when you said that. That sounds so catchy, but it's so bad.
Yeah, it's literally about a kid going on a rampage doing school shooting, but it's like all the other kids with the pumped up.
Better run faster than my bullet. Like, yeah, and it's so catchy. And even like, I remember when it first came out, my kids used to sing that. I'm like, can you not? Can you not? And but it's so catchy. I'm like, just don't do it, especially in school. Okay.
And a lot of people doesn't realize it until they're like, you really have to pay attention to the song to get it. So do you know that one song? It's called "Hey Ya"
by Outkast.
Yeah, I think that's what the music. It's like if you've seen the music video, they're like dressed in all green and they're dancing around.
Yep.
When I found out that's actually a depressing song, I was like, how? These people are dancing, they look like they're having a good time, but then when I listen to the lyrics, it's like, oh shit, this is depressing.
Oh, I didn't know that about that song. Damn, I definitely like bop my head to that song every time it comes on.
No, because I guess the point of the song is about how society wants you to be in a relationship because that's the only way you can be happy. Society has taught us that in order for someone to be truly happy, you have to be in a relationship.
Wow.
But here's the funny part about that song. If you kind of listen carefully, there's a certain part of the song that says, man, y'all are not even listening to me. Y'all just want to dance. And that's when they go, hey, ya.
Oh my god. That song is so old. I never even paid attention to that. Holy
crap. The thing is, like, he says it so quick. It's like, yeah, a lot of people's going to miss that part. So he says it like, I can't really say it. Like, he just says it super fast.
Yeah. Now I'm going to have to listen to that song. Dang.
Which other? Green Day, Basket Case.
Oh, yeah. For sure, Basket Case is, like, super That's actually like that is the song that got me into punk music when I was younger, and I used to like bop around to it, and I used to love it and sing all the words. And then I got older, I'm like, jeez, that's not something I should be singing in sixth grade.
Well,
And
I actually looked
favorite
into
song.
it, and or what were you gonna say?
I said that was one of my favorite songs in sixth grade, and like as I got older, I'm like, wow, who let me listen
Right.
to that?
Yeah, because I looked into it, and what the song was Billy Joel was trying to describe, like, hey guys, I have depression, I have anxiety, I have this, and I all I want is to scream and ask people for help, but this is just how I cope with all my anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Still like, and what's the other one? Handlebars. You remember that song by the Flow? I think it's the Flowbots.
It sounds
It's
familiar, but
like
I don't know.
I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No
Yeah, I
handlebars.
remember. Yeah,
That one's like very, very like political and all kinds of like not what you would expect from that catchy of a song. So I think that's a cool idea though.
there's another one. I'm trying to find it right now. It goes do 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 do. Hey, um, where was that song called? It was written by Monster of Men or Monster of the Men.
That one does not sound familiar to me.
I think it's called Little Talks.
I don't think I know that one. I'll go look that one up. What is that one about?
Or I actually found it. I don't know if you could be able to hear it through my speaker, but let me see if I can play it. But come on. I don't know if you can hear that.
I can.
I don't know. Does that sound familiar to you?
Not at all, but it definitely sounds like a lot happier than I'm assuming it is. It's
Yeah,
very upbeat.
yeah. Because like it is one of the popular songs. Because like I heard it so many times, I just never knew what it was called or who wrote it until like the other day I heard it on the radio. I'm like, oh shit, it's Shazam! And then boom, I was able to find it. But because in the music video, it shows like these people they're on a ship, but the ship flies, so it's like one of those flying ships or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're going off an adventure, fighting monsters, and they're like doing all these fun things. But the song is really about a widow who lost her husband,
Oh no.
and she's afraid that she's losing her mind.
Wow. I have to look into that. That sounds interesting. I like the way it sounded. I don't think that I've ever heard it before, but I definitely like the way it sounded.
I'll send you a message on Discord to like tell you who wrote it and what was the song called.
Yeah, I would love to look into that. It's crazy though, the songs that like are painful and like downright like depressing to the artists, I guess, and come out, and the people who don't know what's going on, who don't experience all that shit, just don't
Right.
get it. Like they just dance to the beat, you know?
Right.
That's kind of crazy to think about.
Right. I think that's what musicians purposely do though. It's like they will write a super depressing story, for a song,
Mm-hmm.
but the thing is people don't really care. People don't really listen to the lyrics. Like if you make it sound happy, like, yeah, I'm super depressed. I want to kill myself. I want to put this bullet through my mind, and people are
Yeah.
just dancing to it.
Yeah. It's kind of it's kind of like I want to say I don't think funny is the right word, but like I guess ironic, like that it's that people most of the time, not because I know people. There are people out there who are like so quick to catch on to lyrics, and I am not one of those people at all. But Like, oh, you know that song "Dollhouse" from Melanie Martinez? I think it's her. Like
I
that
remember,
song.
but I
It's
kind of forgot the song.
so catchy, so fucked up about like shitty family life and like how we're pretending to be this perfect family and we're not, and it's just so like catchy and very like my daughter, like when she was really young, when she listened to that song, she was like, "Mom, listen to this song. It's really catchy." And I listened to it. I was like, "What are you listening to? This is so depressing." And she was like, "But it's so catchy." I'm like, "But it's so depressing."
But see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we kind of need to listen to the lyrics and to
Yep.
these musicians because, yeah, they sound happy, they sound like they're having a good time, but reality is they're probably crying for help,
Yeah.
and we just don't realize it.
Yep.
Or
So
I
true.
think that's kind of like the message when it comes to musicians is that people may seem happy and they seem like they're having a good time, but in their minds they're actually really depressed and they just don't really want to show it.
Yeah. Or that's their only outlet of showing it. And I think that would be like, I think that TikTok is kind of like that. Like, I think a lot, like, I've seen creators make the videos that are like, this is what you see on camera, but sometimes this is what's really behind the camera. Like, a lot, I know, like, one of my friends, Witcher Freak on TikTok, she made this one video that's like, it's not always, happy and smiles behind the camera. And
Right.
it's just like, I think TikTok is can be a good outlet for stuff like that. And I think that's pretty deep, man.
um, I always told myself like if I ever get famous to a certain point where I'm starting doing autograph meetings or conference shows, like stuff like that. The one thing I kind of want to do is because I'm not gonna lie, I always get minors following me, and I actually let them follow me because it's like, here's the one thing. I let them follow me, and this is what I was talking about earlier. That this is why I want to sign up on OnlyFans because I kind of hold myself back of doing certain things or wanting to do things, but I got all these kids watching me,
Yeah.
and I let them because it's like what the things I do on TikTok, it is not bad compared like the video games they play, the music they listen
Right.
to, or they literally go on YouTube and they probably see far freaking worse things than
Yeah,
what I'm
absolutely.
doing.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I have a bunch of kids following me too. And I just let them because I don't follow back, but it's just like
Yeah, that's the one
I
thing
just
I
don't
don't do.
want
I
you to
don't follow
see the
back.
worst thing you're watching right now, you know?
hmm
All things
But
considered.
like I was saying, like if I got famous to a point where I'm starting doing meet and greets, autographs, conference, and if I have minors coming to meet me and doing autographs, the one thing I want to do is give out speeches of predators because you know who James Charles is.
Yes.
So I don't know if you've seen, but he recently got caught talking to a minor. Not only talking to a minor, but sending him nudes too.
No, I did not hear that.
Yeah, he got caught big time. And he played his whole like, "Oh guys, I'm so sorry and I didn't mean this." And I don't know why people fall for this shit. Like people actually start feeling bad. It's like this full-grown man is sending naked pics to a kid and
hmm
you're all feeling bad for him?
Yeah. Pity party.
Like
Because they
that
don't
does
want it.
not make sense.
They don't want that image of James Charles to be ruined. They're willing. Some people are willing to turn the blind eye to people's pity parties, you know, or people's indiscretions with their pity parties. They're willing to
Right.
turn a blind eye.
But it's like, I don't know if you ever heard of the show or seen the show, How to Catch a Predator with,
Yeah, I have. Yep.
but see, in that show, obviously they make fake profiles, they make fight, like, everything's fake, just to catch that predator, be like, so, when they go meet up and Chris Hansen's like, hey, take a seat. It's like, so why are you here? And, they try to play it off like, oh, I'm just here to meet the parents. Be like, are you sure? Because I got these text messages that you want to. You want to put your dick in this 12-year-old's mouth.
Yep.
And see, text messages like that, he's gonna go to jail. But yet, you got celebrities such as James Charles, 100% proven that he sent nudes, yet he's still a free man.
Yep. Yep.
So like, got a little off track there, but so like, what I want to tell kids is like, hey, I just want to let you guys know, even if somebody's a big celebrity, they are still considered stranger dangers. Just because on camera they may seem nice, they seem like they're very kind people, but once those cameras are turned off, you have no idea who they truly are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good point to want to get, especially with the way, because he's pretty big on TikTok too. Like, especially with the way, these kids. I mean, I teach fifth grade, and this morning some of my kids were talking about TikTok. They're like, oh, so and so is on TikTok for like hours watching video after video. And I'm just like, I don't want to, like, I obviously don't want them to know that I have a TikTok, but like, I just want to be like, what do you guys watch? I'm like concerned here because I see what's on TikTok,
Right.
And it's, they, they idolize. It's so, especially in today's age, they're so quick to idolize anyone on an app, whether it's TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, and it is scary. And it's a little bit easier now for predators to reach the kids than it was when we were younger.
Right. Because back in my day, we didn't have phones. We had passing notes.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, we had passing notes. We had. I didn't even have a cell phone. I didn't. Cell phones weren't a thing until I was like an adult, unfortunately.
Right.
But yeah, it's scary how easy it is to um access children these days.
Right.
Scary.
Because the one thing that these kids think that, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, like when I was in high school and all that stuff, I would think like, oh, I'm mature enough, I'm an adult, I know how the world
Yep.
runs. But it's like, no, you don't know how the world runs. You don't know the intentions of what these celebs can do to you. Because yeah, on like I said earlier, on camera they seem friendly, they seem nice, they seem like, hey, everybody loves me, but once those cameras turn off, that's when the real them comes out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wild's like he's like laughing. He's like, yeah, that's so true.
There was this actually TikToker, I forgot what his name was, but he got famous by just reacting and shaking his head. That's all he mostly does in his videos.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually got caught having sex with a 15-year-old.
Oh my god.
So that's what I'm like. It's like, oh, why?
Right. That's
um,
that's so scary. And then like there's my daughter. She's 20 now, but when she was younger, that app Kick Messenger used to be like a big thing when she was younger, and when she got it, like, thank goodness my daughter was always like open with me, but she would be like, hey mom, this is spam, right? Like, this isn't real. And it would be like guys in her, random people on her Kick Messenger trying to like get her to like talk to them. And I was like, yeah, don't talk to anybody you don't know on Kick. So she would constantly block people. And like one time she had a birthday party and she was sleeping, and her friends took her phone and were like talking to guys that were trying to talk to my daughter, and were like, they were sending um pictures of themselves they were like freaking 13 at the time, pictures to these guys on my daughter's account. And um my ex-husband saw it and was like yelling at my daughter for like, why are you talking to these guys? And she was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And we found out that it was her friends later, and we were just like, oh my gosh, you guys, that is an adult. Like, you don't even know that person, and you were just like sending him pictures. So it was just like scary. I deleted the app. Never again. My daughter was like, I'm cool without the app. I don't need it. So I was I'm lucky that my daughter was smart enough to like know better, but her friends unfortunately were not. And like it was just a whole big mess. And it's like, and that was back years ago. Like she was like 7 years ago. She's 20 now. That was when she was like 13. And it's scary how easily, like, she didn't even know these people. Like all she did was sign up for an app, and they were able to access her and contact her, and
Right.
it's just scary how much access people like that have to children anymore.
um, I don't know if you heard of these TikTokers. I mean, they were pretty big until one point they end up getting caught. One of them is called Inferno Asylum.
Yeah, Ian. Yeah,
Yeah,
I used
and
to follow him.
the other one was called Clap Daddy. I don't know
Yep,
if you remember him.
yep. Cam, not Cam. What was his name? I forget his name.
I
But
never remember what his real name was, but so yeah, those two got caught big time. Well, Clap Daddy, he got caught talking to minors, well,
mhm.
trans minors, and Infernal Asylum, he got caught with sexually harassing women. Was it harassing or assaulting, or was it both?
I don't- I think it was harassing. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, Wild was like out of the two, Infernum was the lesser of the two evils. But that's why I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Clap Daddy left. When I first started TikTok, I followed them both, and I actually followed Cam, which was one of Clap Daddy's like best friends or whatever. Like I used to follow Cam because I loved his videos, and he's trans, and I used to watch when Clap Daddy would come, Colton, that was his name, Colton, when he would come and visit Cam like at his high school, like came and visit him, and they would do video collabs and stuff. And when that all came out, I watched up until like Clap Daddy was like saying I'm leaving the app and stuff, and then I saw Ian's like Infernum like apology or whatever, and then he disappeared for a while, but I think he's back. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
think
is
he's back.
back.
Um, but I'm pretty sure Clap Daddy's still gone.
Yeah, because like I think there's a
Oh,
time
he
where
is.
I did try to find him, but it's because yeah, he got caught big time.
Yeah.
There's like no coming back to what he did. But I actually did some more research on both of them because I'm a type of dude that's like, hey, you know what? Let me listen to both sides of the story because it's
Hmm.
like I was actually talking to Wild the other day about this. It's like women, and I hope you don't get offended by this.
I'm
It's
married to
kind of,
Wild. There's not a lot I get offended by.
but it's kind of hard to believe women nowadays, especially like when it comes to rape. It's like,
Hmm.
why do question women when they said they've been raped? It's like because there's just numerous cases of false rape that
Hmm.
women just use rape to get revenge.
Hmm. I'm like I'm not a feminist. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm the farthest thing. I actually like my daughter. I've seen um cases where guys were like 19 when they were dating a 17-year-old, and something went south, and her parents like threw a fit, and now this kid is 20 with a sexual predator label on him because he was dating someone who was 2 years younger than him, you know, and
Right.
shit went south, and now he's a sexual predator for the rest of his life. And I always told my daughter, I was like, I always put it in her head, I was like, I swear to God, if you ever try to ruin a man's life because you didn't get your way, I will kill you. I was like, I will end your life. Like, one, I will not support you at all. Two, I will. Oh my God, I was just like always so upset. Like, I was like, if you ever lie about your age and get a boy in trouble, you're gonna be the one to pay. And she's like, okay, mom, okay. I was like, don't ever, because I know I'm a girl. I know girls do that shit. I know we do it. Like, I've never lied about my age. Um, okay, that's a whole lie. I was okay. First of all, when I was growing up on Guam and drinking age was 18, I was on the cusp of turning 18 when I was going out drinking, and I had a fake ID. Not gonna lie, um, but I did it to go, to go out and drink. Like I never, you know, got with anybody without telling them how old I really was. But I mean, I definitely lied about my age to get into go drinking, but I never like tried to like come off as I was older when a guy just to get his attention. But
Right.
I do know girls who do that. I 100% had a friend in high school who, when I was 18, she was 15, and she was so much taller than me and so much older looking than me. And she didn't. She slept with one of my boyfriend at the time. Um, I was 18, he was 21, and he was in the military, and she slept with one of his like shipmates, and I got so mad at her. I was like, why would you do that? And she was like, oh, I don't care, I wasn't thinking. I was like, he's 20, you're 15. And like when he found out her age, he freaked out. He was like, great, I'm going to jail, like, I was like, no, you're not. Like, I'm going to make sure she doesn't you know do anything stupid. But I was so mad at her for doing that. And I definitely do not condone it. I do not agree with women who use that power, because it just fucking sucks.
And it just makes women look bad in
It
general.
really does. It honestly really does. And I don't play that shit. I really fucking don't. Like when we first got together, Wild was like, where are your views on this? And I was like, totally not a feminist. Say what you want. Not a feminist, not at all.
Like,
And it's so hard.
like, what are your political views of?
Yeah, and I was like, it's hard though, because I do have a lot of friends who are, and I'm just like, shut up sometimes with their views. And it's hard because I'm like, I don't want to come off as like I hate my own, gender, but I also know what we're capable of, and I'm not fucking stupid.
Right. So we actually got like 2 minutes left.
Okay.
There's actually still so much I want to talk to you about, but it's not gonna be enough for 2 minutes. So we will pick this up again, and I actually really enjoy this podcast with you.
Thank you. I enjoyed it too. He was like, it's so fun. I was like, okay, never done this before, but all right.
So I really do hope we get to do another podcast soon. And just a quick message to those who listen. If you ever meet somebody online, just ask for an ID, check their IDs.
Great.
This is just how you can get out of trouble.
Yep.
All right. So, is there any last minute things you want to say before we turn this off?
Nope, I think I'm good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was Mandie, the queen and the co-founder of the Wild